Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome back to So Frail Conversations. I thank you for tuning in, and I greatly appreciate you all. Today, we will be talking about misogyny. Misogyny is definitely a topic that needs to stay on the table, that needs to come out, because it's problematic. It's very problematic, and it's poisonous towards us. It's poisonous towards our progression. And it's definitely a hindrance when it comes to our masculinity. Misogyny is deep. Like, don't get me wrong, misogyny is deep. It's on the surface. What people have, internalized it as is, of course, the hatred for women. But it's a lot deeper. It's a lot deeper than just the hatred for women, and the disdain for women. So I'm going to really, really take some time to peel back the layers. If you've read So Frail, you already know what layers I'm about to peel back and what I'm about to talk about. And if you have read So Frail, there's still going to be things that I didn't discuss all the way in there, because there's, new information comes about, and things kind of evolve and transform. But I feel like misogyny is something that needs to be eradicated out of our psyches, because we live it on a regular basis, so much so that it affects every woman in our lives, even down to our little girls when we have them. Like, sometimes we think, and you know what? It's the misogyny in us. It's funny because, this topic that was just recently in the air, but it's the misogyny in us that causes us to be overprotective, overbearing fathers and things like that, and do, some kind of, irrational shit sometimes, which is against masculinity. But it's the misogyny rooted in that makes us see reality from this falsified way. So I'm gonna peel back a little bit of the layers behind misogyny, give my take on it, and pretty much just continue on with this So Frail Conversations thing. I kind of like where it's going. I hope you like where it's going as well. But before I get started, before I dive heavy into it, I want to say, first, follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. That is my main page. You can follow the Just Scene Podcast at the Just Scene Podcast on Instagram, so that way you're not missing any of the drops. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you're watching your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much everywhere except Stitcher, but it's coming there. What else? If you're looking to go into the plant-based lifestyle, be sure to follow me at the Hitting It Raw program. And you can also check out the book, Hitting It Raw, Living the Raw Plant-Based Lifestyle for Life. If you're vibing with the So Frail Conversations and, you kind of want to get an idea as to what's going to happen or what's going on, you can be sure to check out the books, So Frail, A Reality to Black Male Masculinity, and So Frail 2, Toxic Femininity. All of what I've just listed is in your description to your podcast, so you can just click the links and go. So without, I don't want to, take up too much more of your time, with the mundane. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to get into not masculinity. Well, we're always in masculinity, but we're going to get into misogyny. We're going to get into misogyny. This is going to be one for you. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Scene about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right, welcome back. Let's just dive into it. We don't need to waste any more time. Look, misogyny, right? Misogyny is, as always, like, if you know how I get down, I have to define something first before I, pretty much go in, because I don't like the ambiguity of people, assuming one thing when I'm really meaning another. So I like to tell people what I'm talking about. So first, misogyny is going to be defined as the hatred or the disdain towards women. Okay? That's the premise in which we're going for, the hatred or the disdain towards women. It's no mystery. Misogynistic people, chauvinistic people. And the reason why I'm saying people, because there are also misogynistic women who are under a different guise, but I'm not going to talk about that. But I just wanted that to be specified, that there are misogynistic women who are just as misogynistic as men are. And sometimes that gets swept under the rug, but we'll talk about sisterhood and all that other shit another day. We're talking about brotherhood right now. We're talking about masculinity. So anyway, I digress. So masculinity, as I said, is the disdain or the hatred of women, right? And when we look at the misogyny, like when we look at this structure of the world right now, it's under a misogynistic patriarchal society. You feel what I'm saying? Now, granted, this isn't one that I'm saying because I'm against misogyny, because I'm against patriarchy, and I'm against that. I'm automatically off the other side gonna go with feminism, or automatically gonna go with matriarchy. I'm not on that type time, because I'm not one who's living by the philosophy, well, if you're not with me, you're against me. No, if I'm not with you, I'm not with that shit either. I'm by myself. But anyway, when it comes to how misogyny plays itself out, we have to ask ourselves, what's the inception of misogyny? Like, why do men hate women? You feel me? Why is that even a thing? Why has that been conceptualized? Like, you come from a woman, you come from an entire womb, you feel me? And yet you grow to hate women. What the hell is up with that? Right? It's a societal conditioning that developed years ago, millennia ago. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get stuck in the present moment. And then if we do go back in the past, we don't go back to the right aspects of the past and dissect everything. So sometimes it can get lost in translation of where something started or where something's inception was. Me personally, I have my own individual ideology behind where misogyny came from. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm definitely going to go in on that, within the coming hour. So first off, I want to address the inception. You feel what I'm saying? Men just didn't randomly start hating women. You just don't randomly start hating a woman. You have to be taught to hate a woman. You have to be conditioned to hate a woman. You have to develop that ideology to hate a woman. The whole gender. Like, the fuck? Like, how do you hate the whole gender, bro? Like, the fuck did they do to you? But it comes in deeper, because before misogyny was the hatred of women, misogyny was the competition between men. You dig what I'm saying? Follow me on this. Misogyny begins as the competition between men. It doesn't start off, and the hatred of women is, okay, I'll say it like this. If misogyny being the competition between men would be equivalent to the tree, then the hatred of women is a branch. It's a very strong branch, don't get me wrong. And it's the branch that is producing the fruit. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we can't overlook the tree in which this branch comes from. You feel what I'm saying? So when we take it back to, I'm not going to give a specific date, because, you can't really figure out dates. You can just figure out relative timestamps, But there's a point in history in which the misogyny started, as I said, the competition between men. And that's where it starts. So with women being the greatest prize, the greatest gift that any man could have, you dig what I'm saying? When that competition rises, when I am inferior to this man, or I am not able to compete with this man, now I have to attack his prize. Now I have to go against his prize. Now I have to go against what he stands for. You feel what I'm saying? I have to damage it in order to hit that man, and in order to reign supreme over him, and that's how the competition set, because now the cycle rolls, because I'm going to do something towards this woman, or whatever the case may be, and I'm going to just to defeat this man. You feel what I'm saying? if you've read So Frail, you know that I always talk about how rationale and emotion go hand in hand, but rationale is masculine, emotion is feminine. And the rationale of the man is always going to follow the emotions of the woman. So, and if you really want to get to a man, you have to hit his heart, especially when in an age where we're not taught to deal with our emotions. You have to hit his heart. The best way to hit his heart is to get his woman. You feel what I'm saying? So to defeat that man, you hit his heart by getting to his woman in some way, shape, or form. And and a part of misogyny is not only to attack the woman, to damage the woman, to hate the woman, but do it in lieu of the competition with the man that you are losing to. You feel what I'm saying? And then take that on. Then take that on and make that man hate that woman. And that's where the cycle starts. You dig what I'm saying? So let's look at if we look at it from a historical perspective and the just the historical cultural perspective. When war happened, war of course always went between men. You feel what I'm saying? The men fought, the warrior class, whatever it was they fought. But there's a point in war where it ties into religion too, because you can find this in religious texts. But there's a point in war where after you win the war, you then take the land, you take the children, you take the people and everything like that. But here's where the misogyny started kicking in, is the competition between men, and it started to get dangerous. It really started to get dangerous because there was doctrines and scriptures that said you can take the women as your own. You feel me? You can take the virgins for yourself. You can do all of this stuff for yourself. So imagine, these things happening, and a father, a husband, he's now having his wife taken from him. He's now having, there's nothing he can do about it, because the war happened or whatever the case may be. So this is why misogyny begins as the competition between men. This is why, if we fast forward today, we can look at it more in real time. Like if you listen to R&B music, you feel me? Listen to R&B music. That is R&B music, rap music too. But R&B music pretty much captures misogyny as the competition between men. Like the songs, take away the breakup songs, take away the dance songs, but look at the love songs. You feel me? What is a common thing that the men are singing? When it comes to the law, they're singing to women, but what do they always talk about? I can love you better than your man can. I could treat you better than your man can. I can be more for you than your man could ever be. You dig what I'm saying? And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But at the same time, the issue with that is that, even if the woman does get with this man and he does love her better, it was never the woman he wanted. You feel what I'm saying? It was the competition between men. I won. I took your girl. I took your girl from you. You feel what I'm saying? You ever heard a argument between a woman, like women do it too, but we're talking about men. But you ever heard an argument between a woman whose ex-boyfriend and current boyfriend were in the same like dynamic, but it was in the sense like she took, like, I took your bitch. Like, I took your girl from you. Like, I will take your girl. Like, that is something that, we embark on when it comes to misogyny, and we don't even understand that that's rooted in misogyny. You feel what I'm saying? As the competition between men. So I'm competing. It's like, yo, damn, I'm gonna take your girl. And then it's like when you start to understand the degrees of separation. You feel me? Where this man is, say, an alpha, and this other guy is a beta. You feel what I mean? A beta male. And he's like, yo, I can be an alpha because I'm gonna have to take this particular one. This is why, if you look at the quote unquote nice guys, the motherfuckers who's always on some shit like, well, that's why she got hurt, because she was dealing with dudes that ain't shit and blah 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 blah. They're corny as fuck. I just did a whole podcast on that the last couple of weeks ago, but whatever. But these motherfuckers are epitomizing the competition between men. They're upset that they're not able to get the women that the other guys are getting because they feel that they should. Because they feel like they should be in competition when they're not. You feel me? Because the competition is that the thing with the competition is that it's a physical presence trying to battle an essence. Like, my guy, either you got it or you don't. You feel what I'm saying? Your cars, your clothes, like, you feel me? Your money. It don't, like, the brokest man with essence. The brokest man with essence can have the greatest woman on this earth before the richest man with no essence ever will. You feel what I'm saying? Now, granted, today's society is so, materialistic that I'm not too sure about that. But I'm speaking in general, like, the person with the essence is always going to get the person who has no substance to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, who they're going to get the person before someone who has no substance to them. So when we look at the competition between men, this is what happens. This is why when you look at our relation, like, homeboys will smash. They like, it could be a girl or a woman that he had no interest in at first, but until his homeboy was with it, he said, I want to smash. And he would try to creep his homeboy's girl. Why is that? Why is that? And then when it comes out, you feel me? And this is how the hatred comes. This is how it transitions into hatred between women, because the envy between men based off of the competition then causes the men to hate the women. You feel me? The envy between men based off of the competition is what causes men to hate women, because they're not in the competition. They're not in the realm for competing. Because then when we add into the fact that a man is supposed to pursue a woman, a man goes after the woman, it's pretty much made a best man win. You feel me? So therefore, the man who gets the girl is the one who's the best man. You feel what I'm saying? And if I got slighted by this dude, and it's like, yo, he corny. Like, this is why we have conversations where we be like, yo, she with that corny dude, she with that lame dude, that dude ain't this, that, that. But it's like, we're basing that off of a competition based off envy, because we don't feel like that woman should be with that man. So we feel what? I can take her. You feel what I'm saying? So back to the point about homeboy smashing, they homie's girl. And then when it comes out, it's like, yo, bruh, I seen some funny shit. And then the dude kind of fell for it, but it was like, after he hit his homeboy's girl, he was like, bruh, I just want you to see that she was a hoe. You feel what I'm saying? I was trying to weed her out for you. You feel what I'm saying? Because you my mans, and I fucks with you, man. I love you, man. So I'm not going to do you like that. But I wanted you to see that she a hoe. She gave me some, bro. We still boys. We still cool. But fuck her. At the end of the day, it's supposed to be fuck both of y'all. But you know what I'm saying? Then we have indoctrinations. I talked about this in So Frail from Mantras of Suppression. We have indoctrinations of things like bros before hoes. You feel me? Homies over hoes. You feel me? Shit like that makes us say, okay, you right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to fuck with you. My man, yo. You my right hand, man. I fuck with you, bro. She violated. There was mutual consenting parties. Your homeboy's liable to fuck your girl again. He's liable to fuck another girl that you with again. You feel what I'm saying? But it's the competition between men. Personal experience. You know what I'm saying? I was young. I was like 15. I was like 14 when it first happened. Then I was like 15 for my retaliation. You feel what I'm saying? When I was like 14, I was talking to this girl, and you feel me? My homeboy at the time, he creeped her. You feel what I'm saying? He smashed her behind my back or whatnot. And then it came out. Like, they was talking on the phone on a regular basis. But I ain't think nothing of it, because I was hooking him up with her sister. You feel what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool, bro. And then the sister was older and she was cuter. So I was like, yo, you got the, you know what I mean? But he wanted what I had. You feel me? Because it was a competition between men. He wanted what I had. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I was like, all right, cool. So I fell into that. After he hit or whatnot, it was like, yo, bro, we boys, man. You know how we do, man. We can't. I was like, all right, you're right. We boys. We share girls. That's what we do. And a lot of us fall into that shit. That was some foul shit. That was still some fucked up shit. You feel what I'm saying? He had just as much potential to get the girls that I had. He had just as much potential to eat, like, and then, like I said, her sister was cuter. You feel what I'm saying? Her sister was cuter. So it's like, but nah, I want what you have. I want what you have. That particular friend, we had a different competition on a different level. Like, everything that I did, down to little shit. Like, you feel me? If I got a new haircut, he got the same haircut. It's like, yo, that's when I started to understand the competition between men. And that's where misogyny kind of started. You feel me? So then it was like, instead of cutting him off, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I pretty much spazzed on her, yo, you a trifling ass bitch and blah, 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 blah. And that, this, that, and the third. That hatred started to develop. You feel me? The hatred started to develop. And that's how the misogyny shit played out. You feel me? On both ends, both between the competition and then the hatred of women. So time goes on. I'm like 16 now. And he had a girlfriend that he really, really liked. You feel me? I didn't do this maliciously. Like, okay, I'm going to get back with you. She came on to me. You feel me? Again, this is more of that competition shit that we talking about. Yo, she came on to me and da da da. But yeah, she really did come on to me, and I turned her down several times. I was like, nah, I used to fuck with my homeboy and shit. The thing that hit me, that really made me not give a fuck at that point, when I really just said, fuck it, I'll do it, was when she uttered the words, and I'll never forget them. She uttered the words, but don't y'all share girls anyway? And then he do it to you? Damn, you're right. You're right. So, I did what I did. And then it came out. The truth came out. You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't mad at me. He was mad at her. He was like, yo, that's foul. He was like, yo, that's he my homie. Yo, he a man. He just gonna do that. We always gonna be cool, but you fucked up. And I was like, yo, we're contributing. I didn't notice then, but in hindsight, I'm like, yo, we're contributing to the hatred of women based off of the competition that we have between men. So the woman is just a casualty of war. The hatred of the woman is a casualty. You feel me? It's a casualty to the competition that we have between men. You feel what I'm saying? This is how society's like, what is it? MWGTOW, men who go the other way. Yeah, men who go the other way. So that is a whole societal structure. A new letter gang, a whole lot of gang shit in this bitch, but they hate women. They will actively tell you that they hate women. And I just found out about this shit. One of my supporters on Instagram, she hit me up, was like, have you heard about this? I was like, hell no, I ain't heard about no shit like that. What kind of shit is this? So I'm looking up, and they actually hate women. You feel me saying? They actually hate women. So that's a whole different level of misogyny at that point. They're like, and when I started reading some of their philosophy, they don't even want to be men. They don't even want to be masculine men. They just, whatever. You feel me? We don't want to protect. We don't want to provide. We should do that by option and by choice. My dude, it's naturally in you to be a protector and a provider as a man. Like, yo, you can't miss me with that shit. It's in your essence to do so. You feel me? But whatever. If that's how they want to rock, that's how they rock. But they actually hate women. But when you pay attention to the theme of it, because it ties in both the competition between men and the hatred for women. Their hatred for women is based off of the fact that they cannot compete with the men that have set the standard. You dig what I'm saying? They can't compete in any way, shape, or form with the man that's why they complain about, I should be able to protect and provide if I want to. You feel me? I should be able to do this if I want to. You feel me? I shouldn't be forced. You're not forced to do anything. As they say, whatever created us gave us free will to do whatever the fuck we want to do. If we want to, we just got to deal with the consequences of reality. But anywho, when it's all said and done, that group defines misogyny from both perspectives, both the competition between men and, so it's like they'll rather, some of them, and that's what get me, because it's a fine line, because I'm like, yo, men who go the other way, which way y'all going? You feel me? In the shit, they say in the little credence, they also say they don't have toleration. They don't have tolerance for homosexuality. That's not permitted in that little thing. But at the same time, you hate women. So it's like, what the fuck are you going to do with your life? And it's like, so they use women solely for procreation or, physical pleasures when they want to, but they hate women. They hate women. That's going to take me to another point too, but I'm not really, that's a whole different topic, but it kind of fits in here. A lot of times that misogyny sets up a template to make us not have good sex with women. You feel what I'm saying? We don't have sex with women. That is something that, like, yeah, we be fucking bitches. Okay, cool. But we are not having sex with women. We are not making love to women. We are not sexually involving ourselves with women. We are masturbating with the vagina. But like I said, that is a conversation for a different day, because that can take away from what we're talking about now. But it's the misogyny that causes that. You feel what I'm saying? It's the misogyny that causes that. And so from the competition between men, if you're losing the competition, you're going to hate women more. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again. When the men who are losing the competition hate women the most. Go figure. You feel what I'm saying? It's always like just take a second to really think about that and put that shit two and two together. This is why, when you look at a celebrity, when you look at an athlete, when you look at these certain tiers, you have the men who are complaining about, off the, like, well, she fucks with ball players. She fucks with this. And it's like, that same shit is why dudes will go to the club and say, okay, I want the baddest bitch in the club. And if they get her, you feel me? They pull her, they get a number, I don't want you in the club no more. I don't want you to be seen. I don't want you to dress how you've been dressing. Because I know that I'm going to lose this competition. I've already lost this competition because I defeated myself in my mind. But anyway, I know I'm going to lose this competition. I can lose you to another man at any given time because I don't have what these other men have. So I don't want them to know you. I don't want them to see who you really are. I have to kill that essence. Misogyny. Misogyny. I hate the woman that you could be and the woman that you really are because I can't compete with the men who can have that. Some powerful shit. You feel me? As deep as it is and as fucked up as it is that we hate women, women aren't even the core of the shit. Our problem with women aren't even the core of the shit. It's really the competition between men. Men not being able to compete with other men on that level. Now, granted, life isn't supposed to be a competition, but then you let motherfuckers set up the competition. You feel me? You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to, and then you mad because a woman wants that? She should love me for me. Like I talked to a homie and he said, yo, black women don't like men who watch anime. Black women don't like men who watch cartoons, or black women don't like men who do certain shit. Like the nerds in school, we didn't get the girls because, they weren't checking for us. Now they starting to check for us now that we older. I can't even hold you. And I mean this in the most modest way. I never suffered from that problem. I was the nerd. Like in middle school, when I was in middle school, I still got the girls and I traded Pokemon cards. I had the Game Boy, motherfucking. I was the nerd. I was a nerd. But when you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. You feel what I'm saying? And that segued to different, because there was dudes in middle school that I was beefing with. Now, granted, these are like, you feel me? I grew up, like I always say, I grew up around street people. I didn't always do street shit, Fifth Amendments and everything. But I grew up around street people. You feel what I'm saying? So I still had the edge. I just like, I like the cartoons and shit. I like the anime. I like that nerdy shit because I was a fucking nerd. I'm still a nerd. I do that shit. But you feel what I'm saying? There's people who don't have that essence too. You feel what I mean? So the point that I'm saying is, I would beef with dudes. I never, me and this one guy, we beefed for 3 years. From 6th grade to 8th grade, we beefed because 2 of his girlfriends liked me. I ain't had shit to do with that. You feel me? I ain't had shit to do with that. I mean, I ended up going with one of them. The other one I almost went with, but it was different. But I ended up going with one of them. And that was like every year people ask me, yo, do you think you could fight such and such? Do you think you could beat such and such? I said, I don't know. I ain't never fight him before. I'm not even thinking, whatever. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm like, yo, I don't know this dude. We never shared a conversation. We never had anything. I was like, what is the thing that is making this motherfucker have beef with me? Like, it actually came out like 8th grade. 8th grade was when he addressed me. He was like, yo, I heard you wanted to fight me. I told him, I said, look, bro, if I wanted to scrap, we would scrap. It ain't like, let's not play that game. You feel what I'm saying? But then I was like, yo, what is it? I've never spoken to you before. We don't talk. We don't kick it. None of that shit. You feel me? Even in the heart, like we never had the same classes, nothing. So then I thought about it. I was like, what is it? We dated the same girls. It's middle school, motherfucker. Like, if you supposed to be one of the top motherfuckers in school, or like the motherfucker everybody, like, you're gonna go with the same people. The fuck? Like, it's a small circle, bro. It's like, that's what it is. So I learned that's when I started to pay attention to it. Like, yo, he really has a problem with me because of women. Because I can take his girlfriends. That's some real shit. So a reverse psychology point to that, now that I said taking girlfriends part, a reverse psychology point to that is when dudes be like, yo, I'm not about to fight you over no bitch. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I'm losing this competition. It's getting me angry. Now it's like, I got you to that point where now you want to fight me over this woman. But I ain't going to fight you over. I already won. The fact that you want to fight me over this broad, you know what I'm saying? So again, competition. But what do? We say, oh, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to hate the woman. I'm going to blame her, man. Fuck that bitch, man. These bitches ain't shit. All of that shit. That comes from the competition between men. That's what started the shit. You feel me? That's what started this whole motherfucking thing. So now we're going to get real deeper into this shit, right? Because now as, what's her name? I want to say it's Moya Bailey. If I'm wrong, please correct me. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think her name is Moya Bailey. She coined the term misogyny, the hatred of black women. Now, it's going to get real uneasy right now because the hatred of black women comes from everybody. Because who is the pinnacle for the black woman? The black man. And when you look at misogyny as the competition between men, you feel what I'm saying? Now you have to broaden it out. Now you have to broaden it out and realize why the black man is hated. You feel what I'm saying? Let's take a look at, the ancestors, Francis Cress Welsing's beautiful piece of work, The ISIS Papers. You feel what I'm saying? Genetic annihilation is a real threat. It's a real fucking threat. You feel what I'm saying? So now, when I now operate from this perspective of it's already misogyny in the world. You feel me? The competition between men is already set. Therefore, we already gonna hate women and then we're gonna hate the women that can get. But now we need to break down the tiers, because now we have to go on the biological aspect. Now we have to go on the genetic aspect. We have to go on the shit that eradicates people. You feel me? Take away everything else and just leave the world to natural selection. It's gonna shift to black. This is not like, if you take it this way, so what? This is not a racial bias. This is not, a superiority complex, falsified. But anyway, this is logical perspective. This is logical perspective. It's natural selection. This is what nature would produce. If you left everything to his vices, you didn't try to vaccinate, you didn't try to destroy biologically a whole group of people. You feel what I'm saying? Where would the world be? It would automatically shift back to what it's supposed to be. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to get too heavy on that. I'm talking about misogynoir. So now, the competition between men as a collective, you have tiers. There's levels to the shit. You feel what I'm saying? There's a common underground thing among people that are like. That's why I kind of can't stand the term people of color, but whatever it is. So there's a man code. You feel me? In which you are not classified as a man until you have had sex with the black woman. Why do you think that's a fucking code? You feel me? Everybody got their own women. You feel me? Everybody got their own women. You feel what I'm saying? But it is written without being put on paper. It is coded that you are not a man. You are like, this shit is about to get heavy, but like, you are not a man until you have had sex with a black woman. But the black man automatically has sex with the black woman by default. Whether that be cultural, because our proximity, whatever it is, our sexual encounters are already with black women. Everybody else has to go through the trenches. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody else has to get up to that point. There's an unwritten code that these motherfuckers follow. Especially a lot of the supremacist motherfuckers. You are not classified as a man until you have sex with a black woman. So, now, not only do I not compete, I don't compare, I don't have the soul, I don't have the rhythm, I don't have anything of that stature in order to even claim this title, to even claim this man's prize. You feel what I'm saying? I don't have any of that shit. I now hate the man. So now let's piggyback into the ISIS Papers. You feel what I'm saying? The pool, the game of pool where the white ball sinks the 8 ball last. Yeah. Competition between men. You feel what I'm saying? The gun is black. You feel me? Now, I'm going to kill you with what you already had to kill me. It's pretty much shaped and modeled into, you feel what I'm saying? Into what a phallus looks like. You feel what I mean? It's like, now I kill you. You feel me? Because now when we look at how, okay, they're killing our boys, they're killing, like, yeah, there's a reason for that. Because now it's like, yo, you can eradicate us. You are eradicating us. Your culture, everything else. Our kids are emulating you now.
Hey, huddle up, broskies, because it's time to elevate. The secret to evolving masculinity is to define it, understand it, then apply it. The So Frail series defines masculinity as the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction. From this definition, I explain how masculinity is not just the hat that we wear, but it's the essence that we must exude through application. If you enjoy the So Frail conversations, why not read the books that inspire them? Visit IamJustSeen.com right now to add the So Frail series to your library to get a better understanding of what masculinity really is. I promise, after reading So Frail, you will never look at masculinity the same again.
Misogyny, the competition between men. You dig what I'm saying? Which then makes you now hate the womb. You hate the woman. You feel what I mean? So now, in this competition, it's no competing. Like, I take it back. I was not take it back as if I recant what I'm saying, but I'm gonna take it back to a time when I was younger. You know what I mean? White girls love me. White girls love me, and it was like I'm so thankful for my mother for raising me the way that she did. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I never understood why. So it's like I will be that's a prize for them. We got to see that as what it is. That's a prize for them. Just the same token, you're not a man until you have sex with a black woman. That's kind of like what it is. So when we look at, all of these races of people, all of these ethnicities and everything like that, what's the common thing? It's sexual. A lot of the shit is sexual. You feel what I'm saying? You ask a woman of, like, I've had conversations like, yo, black men got bigger dicks. Wow, okay, that's it. It's not that, you may be smarter. It's not that, your physicality is already at that level. You feel what I'm saying? It's not any of that. It's that, sexually. You feel me? You can take a woman to a place that other people can't. You feel me? And you know what? The funny thing about that shit and what's not understood is that it has nothing to do with the size. Now, granted, let me take that back. You feel me? Because I know how women be saying, like, that's a damn lie. But anyway, I'm saying there is an essence and an energy, a sexual energy that also comes out too. Some people don't have that sexual energy. You feel what I'm saying? However, if you're just masturbating with vaginas, you don't even give a fuck. You don't pay attention to the varying levels of energy transfers. You don't pay attention to that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And the more melanin that you possess, the deeper your spiritual energy is and the deeper your sexual connection is. So it's a norm for us. It's a normalcy for us. You feel what I'm saying? But for people not in our makeup, you feel what I'm saying? It takes them to a deeper place. Why do you think the phrase is, once you go black, you never go back? You can't, because it's not even about the size per se, but it's about the energy and the essence that comes off that shit. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you get hooked. That's you feel what I'm saying? That's what connects you and binds you. You dig what I mean? But again, it's rooted in the whole competitive nature between men when it comes to that. You feel what I'm saying? And so the point that I was making about, I had a friend, this was in my day before I started, before I transitioned to hanging with street dudes, like when I hung with the white boys, when I hung with the people that traded Pokemon cards, and I can trade my game, I could, transfer Pokemon between Game Boys. With them, my homies didn't do that shit. They thought it was corny. Fuck that. I ain't about to do all of that shit. Like, so they thought it was corny. So whatever. So, you feel me? He had a girlfriend. She was, Caucasian. I'm all right. But I was like, yo, your boyfriend is right here in your face. Like, she's telling him. You feel me? I was like 11 or 12 at the time. So I'm like, yo, this motherfucker, bruh. Like, yo, this is your girl. Like, we're in the same room. He's like, yo, this is your girl. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But again, it's levels to the shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's levels to the shit. And when you're at the upper echelon level, or you're at the level, and when I'm saying, I'm not defining or classifying myself as upper echelon, but I'm saying in the form of the tier, if another man sees you as upper echelon, you ain't got shit to do with that. And that man's going to do what he has to do, or he's going to do what he wants to do to compete with you in some way, shape, or form. You're now going to set his template. You're going to set his standard. But that comes from, lack of self-awareness and the inability to be who you are, in which you now have to emulate another man. But then that's when the competition, because now I could be the better man. You can't. You have to be the best man you could be. But then when you try to be the better man based off another man's template, you lose. You feel what I'm saying? So that way, when you see his prizes, the women that he can get, you have to creep him. Damn, these are the type of women that he's getting. This the echelon of women that he's fucking with. I need to be fucking with those types of women too. But sometimes you're not even built for that. You're not even in that caliber. You feel what I mean? I had a homeboy in high school. This shit blew me, because I'm like, I was the dude. I didn't play sports. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't play sports. I wasn't in a gang. I wasn't in any of that shit. But at the same time, it was just like I fucked with everybody. So it was like, it was the type of women that I was able to involve myself with. It was pretty much all of them. You feel me? But it was like, but people never understood. Like, it was just my essence. I'm just a cool motherfucker. Like, that's what it is. You feel me? I'm just a cool motherfucker, so people fuck with me. But I had a homeboy. I'm like, bro, you the quarterback. You the quarterback of the football team. You start. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we having a conversation. Like, but me and him was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I rocked with him. So we having this conversation and shit. And if my mama listening, it's too late. I can't be in trouble for this. So I skipped school one day. You feel what I'm saying? I skipped school one day, and I went with one of my girlfriend at the time, and we skipped or whatnot. One thing, whatever. But anyway, so I come back, everybody like, yo, you skipped whatever, and I'm like, yeah. So he like, yo. So the homeboy that I'm talking about, like, he came up to me, he was like, yo, you fucking her? I was like, that ain't got nothing to do with you. And that's another thing, bragging on your body count. That is misogynistic tendency, because you are contributing more to the competition. I got more bitches than you. I fuck more bitches than you, whatever. But anyway, I digress. So he was like, yo, you smash? I'm like, nah, because I don't tell. Like, I haven't told, like, you know what I mean? If people found out, it's because, one, they knew we went together. But if it was just somebody, like, nobody really knew unless she told it. You feel me? It wasn't in me I ain't had no reason to tell that shit. I ain't give a fuck. Like, that's my dick. Like, why am I gonna brag on it? Like, you feel me? But he asked me, so he's like, yo, you smash? I'm like, what it got to do with you? He said, no, I'm just saying, bro, because if you smash her, then that means you desperate. I'm like, damn. All right. It's, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I can't do nothing with that. You feel me? If you feel like I'm desperate, that's how you feel. Like, that's what I'm into. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? 2 weeks later, she hit me up and was like, yo, he tried to smash. Damn. So wait. So you're trying to smash what you just said I was desperate for. So what does that make you, my guy? You feel what I mean? A competitor. Yeah, you thought I was going to say desperate, but it's a competitor. You feel me? He sees me in a certain light. You feel me? He held me to a certain standard. And that was, yo, if he's fucking this type of woman, he's fucking this type of girl, I should be fucking them too. You dig what I'm saying? I have been involved with women who this happened in high school too. I had a lot of high school moments and shit. Like, but the girl that I was talking to, like, her and this dude had broke up. I asked her, like, y'all getting back together, whatever the case may be. Nah, we're done for real, blah, blah, blah. You feel me? He finds out that me and her are talking. All right, cool. You feel me? So now, you know what I mean? This is like literally the day before me and her, we had went out. Didn't go out because in high school and shit. We went to go pick up some food at a fast food restaurant, then, chill for a little bit. And then, so, I mean, I'm thinking everything cool. So we had like second period together, I think. So the next day, you feel me? We go back, when we going back to school, he's standing with her in the hallway. You feel me? And then they kiss before the bell ring, and I'm like, oh, so they back together. Hands up, I'm cool. You feel me? She ain't tell me nothing. Then, like, this is literally the very next day and shit. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I can't get mad at that shit. You feel me? But then after that, I left it alone. I didn't talk to her, none of that. Deleted the number. I'm like, yo, you got me fucked up. If you think I can't get somebody else, like, kind of shit is that? I ain't about to be mulling over you. I'm 17 years old. What the fuck I look like? You feel me? So I let it go. You feel me? And then she calls me 2 days later, crying. I'm like, the fuck you want? What you crying for? He left me. He played me. He this, that, and the third. I said, the fuck that got to do with me? He only, I was like, yo, he only did that because I had entered your life. That's it. Then when he seen that I didn't give a fuck no more, he didn't give a fuck no more. You feel me? And now guess what? I still don't give a fuck. And now you got to deal with that shit. You feel what I'm saying? After that, we ain't talk again till like prom and shit, But you feel me? The story was to show that the competition. Damn, you ain't taking, like, you can't be the better man than me. You're not taking what I had. I'm going to step back in because you're not taking what I had. You feel what I'm saying? And in that competition, now, let's tie it all back together, because now we can add misogyny to the shit. Now we can add the perpetuated cycles and shit. This is why we treat our sisters the way we treat them. But before I go into that, I have to add another timestamp. I have to add another very important principle that has made misogyny so fucking crazy. Assimilation. Cultural assimilation. I don't give a fuck. Like, and I get passionate about this every time I talk about it. People think it's anger or whatever the case may be. Fuck y'all. This is passion behind what I'm saying because it's fucked up. It wasn't until integration that we started to demonize our motherfucking women. It wasn't until we assimilated into the culture that hated us to be like these motherfuckers because motherfuckers had a dream that was really a motherfucking nightmare. Oh, this is what we're going to do. But let's real quick. The reason why we had to integrate and the reason why they allowed it because the economy would have fucked up without us. You feel me? We're liquid money. You feel me? It would have fucked up without us. So they said, okay, we're going to let them in. Fuck that. The Great Depression happened in lieu of us. Like, we didn't cause that shit. But we restored the motherfucking economy and shit. We kept it sustained afterwards. You feel me? And we're going to keep it. We're going to continue to keep it sustained. But anyway, that's what integration was about. It was a business move. But anyway, so we integrate. So now, when you integrate within the system, you now have to assimilate to that fucking system. You're now taught by the women and the men and all that, like your image, you're striving to be, your leaders, all of this shit. But they're teaching you every day what you're supposed to be. So now everything you see ain't got shit to do with the women that you deal with. You feel me? They're attacking your attraction to this. But then every day we listening to our music and shit. We ain't doing nothing but destroying and degrading our motherfucking sisters. Calling them all kind of bitches, hoes, sluts, tricks, and everything like that. But again, that becomes now because as the competitor who naturally had the winning advantage assimilated into the culture of the losing competitor. You dig what I'm saying? And now he has taken on the mentality of that losing competitor. You become a loser. You dig what I mean? And now that losing competitor has now fucked up the mentality of the winning competitor so the losing competitor can have his woman. So now, as the losing competitor sets this standard and shit, as they say, let's keep it a bean. As they say, the higher up, and now, I'm going to fuck up the system. I'm going to keep you from I'm going to assimilate you into my culture, but I'm going to keep you from being me. You feel me? Although I have to strive to be you, and you don't even know the shit, but I'm going to keep you at a lower level. I'm going to keep you out of the rooms. I'm going to keep you out of the level that I am. You feel me? I'm going to make sure I talk about this in So Frail too. I'm going to create the school to prison pipeline so I can send your motherfucking ass to jail. So your women can be mine because they're going to get smarter. They're going to be educated. The system is designed to teach from a feminine perspective. So your sister, they're going to be good. They're going to learn. That's why they say black women are among the highest educated women on this planet right now. You feel what I'm saying? So they're going to go up. They're going to reach academia. They're going to reach these points, right? But when they get there, what's going to happen? We're going to be there. Not you. Not you. And then the ones that have gotten there, we have assimilated you so motherfucking much you don't even want your woman. That's misogyny, the competition between men. So then when you break that shit down on that scale, when you break that shit down on that level, you see exactly what the fuck is really going on. You feel me? I'm going to make you hate your woman and I'm going to take her. I still hate both of y'all. But remember, you're not a man until you have had sex with a black woman. You're not a man until you have had I've seen a quote. It was a billionaire. He said, if you want to maintain your billionaire status, you marry a black woman. He ain't no fool. He ain't stupid. You feel what I'm saying? But again, they made us hate y'all. They made us hate our sisters because we assimilated and fused into this very culture. And then the fucked up thing about it, the motherfucker who led the assimilation the most, he cheated with a white woman. Go fucking figure, bro. Like, what the hell? But anyway, we we put that shit into perspective. Now we have to perpetuate the cycle. You feel me? We have to perpetuate the cycle. We the ones who have the capacity and the ability to keep them, to kill the shit. You know what I'm saying? To make the competition unequal, we're gonna keep them out of the circle. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be masculine men. They're probably gonna be alphas. We're gonna make them play sports. We're gonna make them be comedians. We're gonna make them do shit that has nothing to do with their people. You dig what I'm saying? Then they're gonna marry one of ours, and we don't want them. We don't want them, and we're gonna take all of theirs. You feel what I'm saying? That's misogyny. And that's when women started being hated. So now we have to look at the whole suffrage movement. Oh, they don't like women. Yeah, they didn't like women. We had no problem with women because we were at the quintessential peak. We were the upper echelon. We were the pinnacle. That's why that shit never had anything to do with us. But they took our women and brought it into that fight. Oh, they hate us, so they hate all. No, they hate y'all, motherfucker. They don't like y'all. They don't like y'all from a biological perspective, from a mental perspective, a physical perspective, a spiritual perspective. They don't like who they are, therefore they don't like their women. You feel what I'm saying? That's why so many Jadens out this motherfucker now, because everybody wants to have that. You feel me? Everybody wants to assimilate into ours, but keep us out of theirs. You feel me? And they tend to do it well. You feel me? So that creates the illusion of misogyny, as we hate women. Men just hate women. Men are this. No. Honestly, men don't even give a fuck about women. You feel me? It ain't got shit to do with y'all. It got the shit to do with the men we trying to compete with. You feel what I'm saying? The men we trying to compete with. So now, bring it all back full circle, right? When you now put it into let's look at just from a competition between men as a whole. You dig what I'm saying? You have the men that, you got alphas, betas, and epsilons. You feel what I'm saying? Imagine this. You are the upper echelon of your genetic template, and you alpha. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to distract you, and I'm going to keep you away from actually loving your women. Like, that's why do you think black love is so taboo? It's not fair. Yo, black love is shunned because it's not fair. Love everybody. Just love everybody. They want us to love everybody, and everybody's going to love us. They're going to steal our culture. They're going to take everything from us and shit. You feel what I'm saying? But they're going to make us hate our women. They're going to take them. You feel what I'm saying? Misogynoir is misogyny of the black woman. But then misogyny is the competition between men. So who's this competition really? Now, let's take it back. It's one thing to rap on a record. It's one thing to rap on music and say, I'll take your bitch. But it's another thing to create a motherfucking social construct that breaks you down to where you can't even have her. So while we bitching and shit on records and we talking about, yo, I can take this nigga bitch. I can have this bitch. I can do all of that shit. You feel me? And this is not me saying a black woman is a bitch. I'm flowing with the conversation. But it's like, this motherfucker is literally looking at you and say, I've already taken yours. You can have mine. I don't want yours. He's like, you can have mine because I don't want her. I want yours. I want yours so much that I'm going to destroy you. Take her. You dig what I'm saying? To give myself that empowerment. Why you think welfare is what it is. Keep the man out of the motherfucking home because I'm the man. She's now dependent. I get it. It's the government. Who the fuck runs the government? It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. You feel what I'm saying? Misogyny is the competition between motherfucking men. And you hate women indirectly because of that shit. You feel what I'm saying? You can't stop. You can't stop misogyny. You can fight it with feminism all you want to, because you can do all of the shit that you want to thinking that you're fighting misogyny. You're not. You'll never fight misogyny because you're not even in the fucking fight. It ain't got shit to do with women. You feel me? Women just happen to be a byproduct of the shit. I hate your woman because I hate you. You feel me? You and your woman can never create me. Fuck, like that's so it's like I want her because I want to be able to show you that I'm the better man. Because again, the woman is the ultimate prize for a man. She's the man's prize, like naturally, nature, whatever the case may be, however you look at it, strip down all this other material bullshit and look at reality for what it is. When think about mating rituals, all of that shit. Look at just an animal in the animal kingdom, a motherfucker, the men put on mating rituals to get the woman. And who does she choose? The better fucking competitor. You feel me? Sometimes we just got to pay attention to Animal Planet for real. And then apply that shit in real societal structures. The human is the most intelligent, dumbest motherfucker on this planet. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So now we look at this competition like, yo, I can't compete. I can't. So now I'm going to hate this man. I have to do everything that I can to hate him. I take your girl, I take your woman, I do this, I break down your societal structure because now I want you to know that I'm the better man. I'm the stronger man. And we still reign supreme, bro. we still reign supreme. You feel what I'm saying? So these inceptions and shit, they're all rooted in how men are gonna compete between each other. And the losing man, the weaker competitor, is the angry competitor. That's the one who hates the woman the most. You feel what I'm saying? That's the one who hates the woman the most. You dig what I mean? That's why we can womanize. That's why we can be womanizers and not know it, because it's already ingrained in us. You know, from birth, not from birth, but growing up as a child, we began to get the ball rolling for despising women, and that's what comes with the subtle words of being called a mama's boy. That's the first woman you love, and that's the first woman you hate, just off of being called a mama's boy. It's okay to be a daddy's little girl, but it's not okay to be a mama's boy. Think about that shit. It makes no sense. But if the first essence of feminine energy, the first essence of feminine presence, I'm supposed to love, I naturally love, I now have to force myself to hate. I'm going to hate all that essence as it continues to grow. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to hate it. Oh, you a mama's boy. I'm not a mama's boy. I don't love my mama. No, like you have to mentally start to condition yourself into not doing that, to not be a mama's boy. Why do you want to sit up under your mama? Because she's my mama. Why do you want to do, like, nah, we start creating that cold shit. So now when we're in our relationships and our women are like, why don't you never want to hold me? Why don't you never? Cause I never learned how to do that shit. Little girls, they can learn how to hug their fathers and shit like that. And it's okay. That gives them the affection. Now I can care for this man. But now you can't receive any of the motherfucking care back, because I was already stripped of being able to do that shit by being called a mama's boy. You feel me? I remember I was in high school, the 11th grade, and I was talking to this young lady, and you know, she came over one time. She met my mama and shit, and I think my mom had asked me to do something. I just did it and everything. So we go to class. We had a woman teacher, black woman, and I salute her for this shit because she kept hope alive. She kept fucking hope alive. So we get to class, and Shorty is literally just digging on me, like she like, yeah, he's such a mama's boy. He's this, that, and the third. His mama told him to do that. He did it. She's literally laughing at it. So the teacher's like, you know, the way a man treats his mother is the way he's going to treat his woman. She was like, I'm just saying. She's like, yo, I'm just saying. Like, those are signs, girl. You better pay attention. But all she saw was, so it's like, when we understand why it's like we can fall into, like, it's crazy. But like, the man who gets the women is like, I don't give a fuck about him. I never had to. But it's like, that's where the competition comes in. And it's like, pay attention to this conversation between these dudes. You know what I'm saying? They'll always say, well, you're dealing with men that are going to break your heart. You're going to deal with men that don't care. Like, they're begging. Keep sweating and shit. They begging for the attention. They're begging for it because they don't have it. They don't have it. But they can't confront the men. They can't confront the men and say, hey, what do I do? How do I, like, I've had one dude all my life. He was like, yo, bro, I want you to show me how to talk to a woman. And it's just like, I actually had that conversation with him. He was a younger guy and shit. I felt like big homie's supposed to have that shit. You feel me? Like, if you a big homie and somebody looking up to you, had that conversation with him. You feel me? So he had that conversation with him. I told him whatnot. He was like, yo, I tried it. It worked. I ain't tell him to go holler at her. I didn't tell him to go call her mine. I didn't tell her to go flirt with her. I said, just find something that she likes and have a conversation with her about it. Simple. He did that. He's like, yo, the shit worked. I know. You know why? Because you showed her that she mattered. Go fucking figure, bro. Like, it's easy shit like that. But you feel what I'm saying? We lost sight of that because we're so busy trying to compete for another man. We keep the woman on our arm for other men to watch us, for other men to envy us, for other men to see, yo, I'm that dude. I'm that dude. You feel what I'm saying? And when you can't get the girl, because you're not the competitor. You're not the stronger competitor in that. You're going to start to despise the other dudes. And not only that, you're going to shit on them. So then then you'll be able to create whole motherfucking platforms where you don't do shit, but as a man, bash other men, not give a fuck about other men, talking about, you know what, ladies, stop fucking with these type of dudes. You know what, ladies? And you start catering to the ego of the woman. Well, I ain't going to say ego. I'm going to say self-esteem because y'all don't like the word ego. So you start stroking the self-esteem of a woman. You feel me? Then you start fucking with them. Then you start doing, and that shit boosts your ego. So now you found a cheat code on how you can be that person, be that top person. Now all of the women are giving all of this shit. Like, Yo, either you got it or you don't, and you still can't compete. You feel me? You still can't compete. Because now, look at what you had to do to go. Like, you now have to discredit another man. You now have to bash another man. Competition between fucking men. And in that, even in your attempt to say, okay, I'm loving women and doing all this, I'm trying to uplift them. Nah, if you're going to uplift women and you're going to love them, sometimes you got to love. With love comes correction. So sometimes you got to give the rough, rugged, and raw too. You can't be a yes person all the motherfucking time. You feel me? I'll have a podcast topic on that down the line too. You feel what I'm saying? But you can't just, and also in correcting women, in giving that correction, that's not misogyny all the time. You dig what I'm saying? We gotta break that shit. You feel me? Y'all ain't always right. Okay? Y'all ain't always right. Sometimes y'all are fucked up and do vindictive shit too. You feel me? It's not always us. But every time we're expressing to you certain things, you cannot always call it misogyny. Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it could be a brother, fraternal, sororal type situation. Like, yo, I see you as my sister. And before I have you out here looking stupid, I'm going to give you the game. You feel me? You may not like how I give you the game because now I got to be honest with you. That's not me disrespecting you. That's not me being misogynistic. That's me loving your motherfucking ass so you don't bump your motherfucking head out here. You feel me? But that's, like I said, that's another conversation for a different day and a different time. Yeah. So when it's all said and done, consider misogyny for what it really is. You feel what I'm saying? And I know it's gonna. I don't think a lot of people have considered this aspect of it being a competition between men. But now start to pay attention. Start to pay attention how, certain men will have attention for you only when they know another man has it. You feel me? This is why motherfuckers enjoy the pursuit and hate the capture. Like, it's like, I got it. The fuck? I got it. Now I can go brag to some niggas. Now I can go to my homies and say, yo, I smashed. I hit. Think about it. Look at the thin line between love and hate. Look at the lengths that he went to smash to go tell his homeboys that he hit. They told him, yo, you going to end up having to tell her you love her just to hit. No, I ain't, man. You know me, bro. And he ended up having to tell her he loved her. And then he got the hit. Then he go back and tell his homeboys. And then he tried to be done with her. Nah. And they made it seem like something was wrong with her. Nah. And then it's like the hatred built for her and him, that misogyny came in because he destroyed that woman and shit off of the competition between men. Yeah, I smashed, nigga. I smashed. I pulled the baddest bitch that walked in this motherfucking club tonight. It could all be so motherfucking simple. And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right, yeah, man. I'm gonna wind it up. I'm gonna wind it up there. Yeah, but yeah, we gotta see misogyny for what it is. It is the hatred of women. Don't get me wrong. Like, it definitely, motherfucking misogynists hate women, but misogynists are competing with men far more than they're hating women, and women are the casualties of that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Women are the casualties of the shit. You feel me? There's men who aren't in the competition because they're winning. You feel me? They're the winners. This is why, like, you have templates of money, power, and respect. Like, they set a certain standard for what a good man is off the material level and shit. You feel me? And a lot of times women can lose out on a good man solely because of the misogynistic template that she allows herself to internalize. You feel me? Understand this. For my sisters, understand that you're contributing to the competition at times. Now that you know about the competition, pay attention to when you may or may not be contributing to it. And if this person is really in it for you or the competition. You dig what I'm saying? You'll know. You can feel it. But now that you know that it's a competition, pay attention to the little subtle signs and shit. You feel me? Pay attention to the little subtle signs. For my brothers and shit, if you didn't know that this was a competition, now you know. Now you know why we do the shit that we do. Now we know that why we've done the shit that we've done. You feel me? Why your homeboy, you know what I'm saying? He like, this is another point. In addition to the competition between men, this is how that pedophilia and all that shit comes in. This is why we subtly know that it's like, yo, when my peoples are coming around, you put some clothes on in the house. You feel me? Like little shit like that. I don't want, like, you feel me? I don't want to bring this type of woman around my house because now, or my family, because they're gonna operate, they're gonna move a certain way. It's the competition. You feel me? It's the competition. You know what I mean? It's the competition. Who can have the baddest bitch? Who can have the prettiest woman? This is why, as even still, and again, women, y'all are casualties of the shit. You feel me? Y'all are casualties of a competition. This is why when a man gets older, like look at this shit. A man gets older, he's like, yo, my wife fell off. She ain't this no more. What does he do? He go gets another younger girl to show I still got it, to show that I'm still in the game, to show whatever the case may be. You dig what I'm saying? We don't even like that's the competitive nature. Because now it's like, even at me being 60, I can still pull a little young tenderoni and shit. You fucking pedophile. You're a creep. She's a baby. Motherfucker. You feel me? Because of this competition and because of the materialistic platform and shit, you know, the sugar daddies are popping because of that. You feel me? And again, women are the casualties of the shit. Salute. Now, this is no way in any shape or form to condone this shit. But hey, you can't knock the hustle. You feel me? For the women that are getting over on the sugar daddies and shit, getting the money without giving them the sugar, kudos. Because you're winning the game. You feel me? You're winning the game and you're keeping yourself from being a casualty of the competition that you ain't got shit to do with. You feel what I'm saying? Why you, another, like, back to the sugar daddy shit. Why you think it's always some old white dudes with some young black women? Competition, bro. It's the competition. You feel what I'm saying? Look at it, and now you can see it on a grander scale. You feel what I mean? Misogyny has its roots in it started in misogyny kind of goes hand in hand with religion. You feel me? But I can only explain that in a religious context. So you'll get a conversation on that soon, because that's a chapter in the book too. But yeah, this is what misogyny is to the core. Not only the surface, but the core too. So now when you join feminist movements, when you join all these other things, you can't beat it. Because it ain't got shit to do with you. You're just a casualty of the war. Why you think, what are the spoils of war called? Booty. Fucking booty. You feel me? Fucking booty. When you're not being explicit, you call an ass booty. You feel what I'm saying? And our only objective in life is to do what? Get ass. Get some ass from this chick. Like, get some, like, I'm a fuck. Like, that's what it is. That's why the notches under our belt are so important. Because it's spoils of war. You feel me? Then if you could take another man's girl, the fuck? I win. I beat that man. So now I ask, you know, for one, when it comes to misogyny, is it our own disdain for women that we're actually internalizing? You feel me? The black family used to have 2 parents in the home before integration. The black family used to have a cohesive unit before integration. Motherfuckers still cheated, don't get me wrong. I'm not absolving them and saying everything was all perfect. I'm speaking in the general context. You feel me? After integration, we assimilated into a culture to be like motherfuckers who really hated us. You feel what I'm saying? And what did they do? They took our women from us. And then made us hate them. Made us hate them more. Because we assimilated into a culture that already hated us. So we had to change the way we walk. We had to change the way we talk. Our women still like our essence. You feel me? They still love to feel that black soul come out of you when you articulate. They don't necessarily need to hear you talking like this. You feel me? Nah. They know. They know what's up. And everybody else knows what's up too. This is why everybody want to have a black side, bro. Competition. Everybody want to have a black side. My inner black woman came out. I'm black too. I grew up in the hood. Why everybody want to do that shit? Cause it's levels to the shit. It's levels to the shit. And when you're upper echelonian, the universe will show you every fucking day. This ain't a superiority complex. This is a fucking reality. You feel me? Why emulate something that you're supposed to be better than? You dig? Why emulate something that you're supposed to be better than? You feel me? Like I said, pay attention. Like, look at the ISIS papers. Look at the way this shit is. And then you start to see, yo, this shit is a competition between motherfucking men, and we hate women because of it. This is why we are the over-sexualized ones. They label black men as over-sexualized because we can have any bitch we want. I don't mean like I'm speaking culturally. You feel what I'm saying? Think about it. Think about it. As a black man, and this is not, I mean, it is what it is. As a black man, I have the propensity to have the plethora of all of the women created. Now, this is not just a hypothetical situation. Every state I've lived in, every school I went to, every city I lived in, college, under whatever it is, every ethnicity of women have had the attraction to me, and I could have had them. They didn't have that shit to everybody else. I love your skin. I love your lips. I love the way your hair waves up. I'm bald now, but that's beside the fact. I've heard it all from outside of so that can stroke your ego. You feel what I'm saying? But that lets you know that that lets you know where you stand in the competition. So now peel back the layers and you see where misogyny really came from. You see where misogyny really came from. It ain't got shit to do with women. Y'all the indirect result. So now it's like, now I hate this man. You feel me? Racism is I hate this being because I'm not him. I hate this being so much, and this being can have my woman. Now, we kind of going into a different point, but it's still making sense. Still sticking to it. Why do you think there's a racial slur for black people in every culture? Every language, every culture has a racial slur for black people. It's competition, yo. I'm going to call you this derogatory term because, you feel me? So now, in a man's world, this is supposed to be a man's world. Now, I don't compete. So now I'm a fucker. I can't let you have good jobs. You feel me? I can't let you run businesses. I can't let you do that shit because it's not fucking fair. I'll end with this, right? And it goes to the competition part. If you look at the money scope in the world, right? How does it go? It goes Caucasian, Asian, Arab down. It goes down, right? From the Caucasian down. And at the bottom is the black man and the black woman, right? Right. That's materialism. That's just where we stand right now. But again, let's flip that and use that in a scale of melanin. By melanin, I mean the natural creation of what our creator gave us as far as the proclivity for what we're supposed to be on this earth. You feel me? I'll say it like this. Those most allergic to the sun and those least allergic to the sun. How does that run go? It literally goes in direct correlation to the financial status and the financial scope and economic standpoint to what you are naturally and what you can do naturally, genetically into the world. Go figure. So now back to what I'm saying. I'm going to keep you out of these financial institutions. I'm going to keep you out of all this. Like, I'm going to create a system that makes you not win because it's not fair. It's not fair. Because if you are on my level as you are, it's not fair. That's why, look at sports. Anabolic steroids are banned now because of the potential that black people can use them. Black athletes can use them. It was perfectly fine when it was just Caucasian athletes using them. But it's like, damn, you're already the better athlete. The fuck? And you're using steroids too? The fuck? Like, that's not fair. You feel me? It's not fair. So what I do, I just own the team. I own the sport. You feel me? But anyway, I can keep going. But the point of all of that, was to show that when it comes to the misogyny shit, it's the competition between men. And the competition is always going, the hatred of women is going to be always derived from the fact that the being who hates the woman can't compete with the being who can have the woman. You feel what I mean? And so that's why it is what it is. You feel me? That's why feminism don't need to be trying to fight shit. Feminism needs to understand that misogyny ain't got shit to do with women. So it's never going to stop. It's the beef between men. It's the beef between men that can't compete. Epsilons wanting to be alphas. And they just can't. So with that said, I hope this wasn't too long, and I hope you enjoyed what I expressed. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. Follow the podcast at the Just Scene Podcast. Be sure to follow my merchandise page at Just Scene's Merch. If you're looking to transition into the plant-based lifestyle, be sure to check out the Hitting It Raw program, and be sure to get the book Hitting It Raw, Living a Raw Plant-Based Lifestyle for Life. Also, as I said, these Soul Frail conversations are going to unfold and peel back the layers onto so many different things. But if you haven't read them yet, get Soul Frail, A Reality to Black Male Masculinity, and Soul Frail 2, Toxic Femininity, so you know what's going on when we're talking about it. Lastly, everything is in the description of your podcast, so you can just click links. I try to make it seamless for you so you're not searching everywhere. And if you feel, if you enjoy what you hear, if you enjoy the content and you want it to expand a lot more, please support the channel. The podcast, you can find that description as well. Also take donations and tips, so you can also leave that if you want to. But with that being said, I will see you all next week for Soul Frail Conversations. Hope this one marinates. I hope you fuck with it, because I fuck with it. I have fun doing this one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. Live, love, laugh, and go make yourself very productive and enjoy your day and your life. I'll see y'all next week. I'm out.